Hello class, in this video I'll be showing you how to prove a complex trigonometric identity is true using the basic identities you learned about in previous lessons. Let's begin. So we want to prove that the cosine of r times the quantity tangent r plus cotangent r is equal to the cosecant of r. And I've already gone ahead and filled out the first row. So we have the given identity, we have the left side and the right side, and the goal is to make the left side look like the right side. So to do that, let's start with the tangent of r and the cotangent of r. I'm going to rewrite those using sines and cosines. Okay, so now that we have those two ratios there, which rule did I apply to get those ratios? Well, if we go to the chart, it looks like I applied the quotient identities. So on the explanation, I'm going to write quotient identities. Okay, so now we have the cosine of r times the sum of two rational expressions. And since they don't have common denominators, we're going to have to create common denominators. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so what did I do there? Well, I noticed that the denominator of the rational expression on the left was cosine, and the denominator for the rational expression on the right was sine. So what I did was, I created the common denominator, sine r times the cosine of r. Now what? Well, now that we have common denominators, we can go ahead and add these two rational expressions together. And that will look like this. Okay, so what did I do? First, I multiplied the fractions. Then summed the result. Now the expression in the numerator should look very familiar to you. That should look like that equals 1. So now we have cosine of r times 1 divided by cosine r times sine of r. And where did I get the 1 from? Well, let's go back over here to the chart. It looks like that is a Pythagorean identity. Sine squared plus cosine squared is equal to 1. So explaining the steps, I'm going to write Pythagorean identity. Well, now what? Well, you have one factor of cosine in the numerator. You have another factor of cosine in the denominator. So what you're left with is 1 divided by sine of r. And the explanation is dividing like factors. Now notice here in the right column, I didn't write cosecant of r every time. I'm going to go do that now because that is the goal. Because now we have 1 divided by sine of r, and we know what 1 divided by sine of r is. That is cosecant of r. And that is a reciprocal identity. And since we made the left side look like the right side, we've proven the identity is true, and we are done.